I don't know what's going wrong with the weather. We had a bit of rain today, even though we had a 38 and a 39. Had a little bit of rain this morning, and I've got my rain jacket on because it's quite cool. Anyway, I noticed there's a bit of a swale area occurring here with natural detritus sort of thing. So I actually put a bog roll under here somewhere. I think it's here. If I can find it. Or was it here? I can't remember now. It must be over here, surely. I don't know. Where did I put the bog roll? Somewhere down here. We have a bog roll, but I can't find it. That's soft there. Oh, there it is. There we go. So I put the bog roll in here, in this natural swale area, and I haven't got it on spot colour, haven't. But anyway, we've got a natural bog roll. A bog roll in the natural swale area there. I thought I put it over there. Just shows you the camouflage we got there. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. I'll anyway, yeah. I found the camera wasn't focusing. I had a little bit of smeg on the camera, so hopefully I'll fix that. Anyway, let's go to spot colour. Now, this is the old Nature Watch. In this has a chapter on Adrian Slack. Now, I think this was between books. I think this may have been between Adrian Slack 1 and Adrian Slack 2, I'm not sure. Has he got a date on here? Somewhere. We got a publication date, roughly 1981. So it may have been between books, because I think, did the second book come out in the 80s? So anyway, so in his first book, Adrian Slack promoted the idea of leaf moulds, particularly for cephalotus. And in case you want to read it or something like that, and had some nice pics in there. But in the second book, he went against it. But if you notice in this book here, there's some nice pics of. He went out to the swamp out there and so on and so forth. Yeah, so on and so forth. Yeah, pause it at your leisure sort of thing. Yeah, some nice fly traps in there, but there's one in particular. Where is it? So yeah, pause at your leisure sort of thing. He was even growing inflata there, which is not bad. I haven't seen too many people actually growing inflata in cultivation, but yeah. Anyway, that's about it. But can't work out whether he sold out or he just went slack. I don't know. But yeah, I've set these up here, and they're quite reasonably damp. I'm going to wait until this one goes really dark brown to almost black. And that will also tell me when this one is also, I assume, ready to go. And I'll put some seeds down on that. But I've put it up on this little stand here because it gets really hot here. And when we start, in another 6 weeks, we'll be having 46-degree days in the shade. That's why today is quite unusual. And I've decided we're in a bit of a, yeah, not that old, look at the cap on there. We're in a bit of a semi-lockdown today. Well, this month anyway, January sort of thing. So I've decided to try and do my first going full retard sort of thing. So I've just set up this tripod here. I'll have a few free hands and yeah, I've got to, sorry, it's there's a drop away here, so I've got to extend one of the legs sort of thing. Okay, yeah, drop away. Hopefully, yeah. Okay, I think that's about it. Now, I've done this bucket. It's got a, you know, basically, oh, a little bit. This one's, it should be about an inch, but it's slightly over an inch because I use the markers to do it on the bottom there. And normally you put a fly wire disc. If you've got fine sand, you have to put a fly wire disc or something else in the bottom. But because I'm trying out a soil that should build up, it should, you know, knit the soil together over time. And I don't want any blockages, you see. I don't want to get halfway through the experiment and find it's going really, really well, and then it gets blocked up and it goes anaerobic. We don't want that. So anyway, so I've got some sand here, and we're going to put this in here, sort of thing, in our bucket, sort of thing. And bloody ants in there. So we're going to load this up. It's not the best sand. I've measured it with a micrometer, and it's between 350 and slightly over 500, or half a mil. I said, in the old days we thought K140 was good. So really you want something a tenth of a mil to bigger, sort of thing. That would be better. If you looked at some of the natural bog videos online, botanology and a few other things where they go out into senior country in the wild and look at and you can see the sand there, sort of thing. It's quite fine sand, and as you said, some people commenting, I can't believe how fine the sand is, you know, and it's just like these plants seem to be growing on nothing but sand. But as we've been learning recently, things like this, your coir and your peat and other stuff have lignin in them, which is basically a nitrogen source, but it has to be released and for it to become available, sort of thing. So yeah. So this is going to take about 6 weeks to 2 months to fully get going, if it works, sort of thing. Yeah, so we've got some drippage coming out the bottom there. So it's just, this bucket is. They said, with the coming seasons, once we get, once the lockdown comes to an end, I'll be seeking out some finer sand if I can. But then again, you know, we've been in on and off lockdown and all these silly shenanigans for about 2 years now. I said we locked ourselves when we came back from Tasmania in early 2020, and yeah. So yeah, nearly there. I think. I hope I got enough. I thought I measured out enough. I did a bucket's worth and a little bit on top, but okay. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, well, enough area for I put some formula down, sort of thing. That's one thing I forgot. Got to get my space of this, sort of thing. Here, there. Just the drakes. See if we can get it. There. So a bucket and a bit slumps down to be about a little bit more. Yep, a little bit more. Not the best trowel in the world, is it? Oh, better than nothing, I suppose. Okay, well that's about it, I suppose, for a little trial, and then we'll just get it to go down nice and flat, and I'll get my spacer disc and we'll pour our formula on top. It's starting to spit with rain, so if I can get it done before then, I'll get a nice flush through. as we say. Okay, get it in shot. And I'll just get my spacer here. Sorry about that. I forgot about it. Well, as you can see, the sand's a little bit on the large side, granular wise, but hopefully as the soil builds up, it should compensate for that. So we'll get our formula and we'll pour it on, and hopefully it will settle the sand down a little bit better. And is the bucket level? If not, I'm going to have to put if your bucket's not level, you can either put a thing under your bucket, but then of course the sand's going to come screaming out. So you put your little bit of pipe underneath the brick, and that will also keep it level, but the bucket will still be flush with the brick, and it won't come out sort of thing. So just if you didn't know that, if you're a newbie or something into this sort of world, there we go. And hang on, see if I can get you a bit right for you. So if it's like a warm day, these are quite good and quite flexible, and they sort of self-compensate. So if we go slightly to one side here, look through the viewfinder, make sure we're in the scene. Okay. Now, if I were to put this in there, all that sand in the bottom, because there's no fly wire disc in there, will just come screaming out. But it would be level. But if I shift the whole thing up, if I can, it's pretty heavy, as I say, it's sand. Whoa. You can, if we can get it going, sometimes it's best to move the bucket and just slide the thing in. Now, there you go. Now it should be a little bit level, but we're just doing like while we're on. So now when we pour the solution in, it should be a little bit better. So we'll pour our solution in, and we should be able to fill it up a little bit further now. And see, that's not quite level, you have to bring that thing out a bit. So anyway, you get the idea. I'm doing it on camera. Anyway, I just thought you right there, and as you can see, it's got quite a slow infiltration rate at the moment, even though the grains of the sand are quite large, and that's the reason I didn't put a fly wire disc in the bottom, because it might take forever to go through the bottom, and over time as the soil hopefully is going to build up. Yeah, that's why I'm using a blue bucket, because it's sort of like a brownie formula on top sort of thing, and it's also looks a little bit like peat, and also looks a little bit like native wild soil, so that might get you thinking. Anyway, so this will be our first one. I've already set up some more sand in the shed to do another 2, and that's about all I can do until the lockdown ends, and we can I can go out and searching for some finer sand sort of thing. But by the time this one starts to go, we'll probably be putting some seeds down. This will be jet black probably, because the brown rot fungi got into the toilet roll and some of the hyphae have got into the coir and are breaking it down and releasing the lignin. And this will also change colour too. It won't be green, hopefully it won't be that sort of green colour at the moment. It would have changed by then. But anyway, that's about it for this one, I think. The rain's coming in, as you can probably see, very unusual for this time of year, but then again it is we've had quite a few unusual years. Okay, so hopefully that should remain quite swampy over time, so that will be very interesting to watch over time, how swampy it remains, and when we start to see build up, things growing on it, hopefully in about 6 weeks to 8 weeks time, 6 weeks to 2 months time, we may actually start to see liverworts growing on this, if I've actually cracked how to grow liverworts. But anyway, we'll keep it in mind and look out for that in around my George Washington's birthday. So put that on your calendar on the back of your toilet door. George Washington's birthday. Tune in next time so you can see how this bucket has developed, sort of thing, and whether we've germinated any seed on this. But there'll probably be a few videos in between there. Anyway, over and out. Thanks for watching. See ya.